In 1587, more than 115 English settlers, men, women, and children, sailed across the Atlantic to build a new life in the New World. Led by John White, they landed on a small island off the coast of present-day North Carolina, Roanoke Island. It was supposed to be the first permanent English settlement in America. At first, things seemed hopeful. They built homes, planted crops, and tried to befriend local native tribes. But food was scarce, the weather harsh, and tensions with some tribes began to rise. So John White decided to return to England just for supplies. He promised his people he'd come back quickly. But fate had other plans. When White reached England in 1587, war had broken out with Spain. Queen Elizabeth ordered every available ship, even small merchant vessels, to defend the homeland against the Spanish Armada. White's return to America was delayed, not for weeks, but for 3 long years. Finally, in 1590, John White secured passage back to Roanoke. He must have imagined joyful reunions, his daughter Eleanor, his newborn granddaughter Virginia Dare, the first English child born in the New World. But what he found was silence. The settlement was abandoned. No people, no signs of struggle. The houses had been dismantled, as if carefully taken apart, not destroyed. And on a wooden post, carved deep into the grain, was one haunting word: CROATOAN. He took it as a message, a clue that the colonists had moved to CROATOAN Island, now known as Hatteras Island, home of friendly natives. But a storm struck before he could search. The ship's captain refused to risk his vessel. White was forced to turn back to England. He never saw his colony, or his family, again. For centuries, historians, archaeologists, and scientists have tried to uncover what really happened to the lost colony. Some believe the settlers integrated peacefully with the local CROATOAN tribe, intermarrying and blending their cultures. Others think they were killed by hostile tribes or starved during harsh winters. A few even claim they fled inland and were later absorbed into Native American nations like the Lumbee or Cherokee. But there's another theory, darker, stranger. In the 1600s, explorers traveling through coastal Virginia reported seeing gray-eyed, English-speaking Native Americans who wore European clothing and claimed descent from the white men of the coast. Could these have been the children of Roanoke? Then, in 1937, workers digging near Roanoke Island discovered a mysterious engraved stone, the so-called Dare Stone. It claimed to be written by Eleanor Dare, John White's daughter. It told of sickness, death, and how only a few survived after attacks by natives, including her own child. Most experts later called it a forgery, but some still insist the first stone could be real. Even modern science hasn't solved it. Recent archaeological digs on Hatteras Island found European tools, ceramics, and weapons dating to the late 1500s, suggesting that at least some colonists survived there for years. Others may have gone inland, joining other tribes to escape starvation. To this day, no bodies have ever been found, no graves, no proof of a massacre. Only that single carved word, CROATOAN, remains, haunting historians like a ghost. Some say the colony represents the price of exploration, the dream of empire meeting the reality of an unforgiving land. Others see it as the first American ghost story, a warning that even in the land of opportunity, not all beginnings have happy endings. And perhaps that's the real mystery of Roanoke. Not where the people went, but how their disappearance became part of America's soul. A story of hope, courage, and a question that will never die.